Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching from. My name is Nicholas Krakbo and you're watching Volts TV. Volts TV is a streaming channel we're trying to open up on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and most likely we'll be coming to TikTok pretty much soon. Please do us a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, help us share it among your friends. We need your assistance and your help and your comments and feedbacks to grow. Please, please, please. This program is called Sad But True. It's one of the unique programs we'll be having on this streaming channel. And today we'll be talking about one of the greatest countries in Africa, Nigeria. As you all know, I'm from Nigeria. I'm Nigerian by birth. But the words and the news and the information and things coming up from Nigeria at this moment is very, very sad. Nigeria has an election coming up probably by the end of this month. And the polity, the atmosphere is supercharged because this is a unique election that is going to dictate or determine the direction that Nigeria is going to go in the next 4 years. And you have saboteur, you have people in the system whose primary function is to hold the people captive. They want to hold them captive because, as you all know, that the greatest form of poverty is intellectual poverty, poverty of the mind. When a man is intellectually poor, it doesn't necessarily mean one has to have a doctorate degree to be intellectually sound. Somebody might not have a doctorate degree, but up here, he or she can still know the direction where they want to go or what they want to do in life. After all, the greatest minds, Steve Jobs and all the people who invented all these computers and everything, they are school dropouts. They don't have their degrees. But yet they invented things that the whole world is using and working on today. And so the leaders of Nigeria have constantly held Nigerians captive because they know the more they hold them captive, the more they can detect what happens in the system. And then number two, it is only in Africa that a sitting government makes a policy, and when they fail to implement the policy or things that really don't go the way they anticipated it to go, they won't come out to own up. They won't come out to say, okay, yes, we failed. Or identify those who destroyed the system and try to prosecute them. Because there is a chain of command. You should know how the whole thing will operate when you decide to, implement a policy. What am I talking about? Right now, I think sometime last year, between mid last year, the government came out and said they're going to change the higher denominations, the currency of the country, because there's too much money in circulation. They want to checkmate how much currency is out there in the general public. Number one. Number two, they also want to use it to tackle inflation and also checkmate those who are stockpiling money for election and that want to try to foment trouble during the election period, which is a noble idea. All countries do it. And then they went ahead and they made this currency. They changed the currency. But since the currency has been changed, and then suddenly we saw people bringing out money, tons of money, bullion vans of money. I'll show you. See the pictures of monies that they've left inside their homes, and people are suffering and hungry. Men, people are wicked, and then suddenly everybody is bringing out their money to change the money. But you're bringing out the money to the bank to change your money, but you're not getting the new currency back in return. And then people are going hungry right now currently. There is no lights, no electricity, no gas to run generators to power their vehicles. You have money in your bank account, but when you go to the bank, they tell you there's no money because you can't simply withdraw money from your own account to go buy something to eat. And then suddenly, they found that some bank managers are stockpiling money in the strong room.
So they should go and look.
Yes,
Look
yes.
at it. You have so many new notes.
Bring them down. Bring them down.
You have so many.
Bring
No,
them
these
down.
are, see new notes at the
Yes,
back.
yes, yes. I want to bring them down so
So
that you
load
see.
all your machines. I do not want to hear it. Because we'll keep continuously be checking.
Yes, yes,
Make
yes.
sure that your machines are working.
You can
So
see
make
them,
sure, bring them out and load.
That's all.
That's all.
That's all. We
Yeah, and that's
yeah. These are 500.
But you haven't gone to pick up.
Spends both 500 and 1,000.
Have you gone to CBN branch to pick up today?
Yeah, we
They call it.
For bigger clients, you have some celebrities and some young people holding this, new currency, spraying it at parties, and then at the same time selling the currency. For example, if you want 5,000 naira, you'll be ready to part with like 6,000 or 7,000 naira to get 5,000 naira. That is crazy. I mean, why all of a sudden the government cannot control how the system operates, the money that is being circulated out there? Suddenly, the government is finding it difficult to apprehend those who are doing this. Yes, some bank managers have been held captive, some bank managers have been arrested, some of them are in jail because they are hoarding the money. They take the bundle of the naira, still sealed, and stock it inside the ATM, and you have people sleeping outside of the ATM machine overnight, waiting to withdraw money when they come to put money in the ATM machine. I don't think such a thing will happen in America. I'm just saying. Because why all of a sudden the money just disappeared? Because I believe this whole thing is planned. They can say whatever they want to say, because this is the first time in Nigeria where an outsider, an outside political party is becoming a strong contender. Yes, you have about 10 to 15 presidential aspirants trying to, aspiring to become the president of Nigeria. But the three major political parties, you have the PDP, which is the People Democratic Party, whose flag bearer is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. And then you have the APC, is it All Nigerian People's Congress or whatever the name is? I don't even care anymore. Whose flag bearer is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And then you have the Labour Party, whose flag bearer is Mr. Peter Obi. For the very first time, you have a primary contender, someone who has come to shake up the status quo. And I think this is a deliberate ploy. Ask me why. Atiku Abubakar, they have people in the system, the PDP. The APC has people in the system because the last presidential election, the APC presidential candidate had a bullion van packed in his compound, in his yard, overnight during the election process. So how can one man who does not own a bank, how can he have a bullion van packed in his yard, in his premises? The bullion van slept in his premises overnight, and they came up with one flimsy excuse that made no sense, that they missed their turn. Okay, if the bullion van missed their turn, why didn't it turn around and go back to the bank? Nobody said anything. The government did not say anything because he was part of the ruling government. Peter Obi clearly said it. I'm not going to bribe anybody to get me into the seat of power. He doesn't give money. Now, the Nigerian youth, the Nigerian masses who are suffering, everybody is coming together. They are the ones printing electoral materials, banners, posters, slogans. They are holding rallies, doing town hall meetings, spending their own hard currency to get this man elected because they believe that this man might be the Messiah, which I believe too. Let's just try somebody different. Because Now, all of a sudden, nobody can withdraw money from their account, because when you go to the account, you want to withdraw money, they tell you there's no money. But yet, the rich, the billionaires, the multi-millionaires in that country, they have money to spend. They do wire transfer. Bullion van is going to their houses back and forth. If they starve the general masses of funds, they cannot print campaign materials. They cannot move from one place to the other because they don't literally have no money to spend. But the PDP and the APC, they will have money to spend because they have connections. Because why will the bank manager hold on to a pile of over 20 million naira in the bank vault and refuse to give to the general masses who wants to make a withdrawal? Because for every 1 million naira they give to the big wigs or the politicians or whoever it is they are holding the money for, they get 100,000 naira as kickback. Corruption is the bane of Nigerian problem.
For transactions. Queues at ATM points within bank premises can be likened to that of an election day, long, crowded, and endless. But how did we get here? It announced January 31st, 2023 as the deadline for the old Naira notes to cease to be legal tender. All hell was let loose across the country.
Oga, come down, come and wear your clothes.
I don't tire. I don't tire. If I want to shoot me, make I die, make I shoot me. Make I die, sir. If they bury me, make I know, make I forget the problem.
Oga,
Don't agree me, make I die.
see, listen.
The non-availability of new notes threw citizens into a state of despair, agony, and anguish. In Kano State, northwest Nigeria, some Nigerians have to stand in long queues at ATM points as early as 6 a.m. with the hope of withdrawing the smallest amount just to feed.
Gaskiya, what the government are doing is not good at all. How can somebody with your own money, you be doing line? With your own money, the way to remove your money is even problem. If you want to remove from the ATM, you must queue. If you want to remove from the POS, you must use your money to buy money. It is how to do it. It is how to do the government. Gaskiya, they are not doing anything for us. They are not helping us. They are just collecting our votes for nothing and nothing's sake. They are not helping us. If our president has God, he should fear God that what he's doing is unfair to us and unfair to women.
My complaint is that I suffering from at least 1 week. I didn't have any kobo, any naira. I follow at least 20 ATM. I didn't get any kobo. So now I come since early in the morning, since 6 o'clock. By after now, I didn't get anything. So I don't know how we can do.
Sincerely speaking, we are suffering about this policy. It's not working at all. With our money, we are suffering. I come to ATM yesterday. I there from the morning up to 8 o'clock in the night. I never get anything.
In Kwara State, north central Nigeria, and Osun State in the southwest, the situation is no different.
For more than 3 hours now, we have been sitting stranded, even looking for money to eat. We didn't get access to our money. We don't really know what is our problem.
The problem now is that I don't think the bank is having much to dispense out, and the poor masses will suffer for it. You can see many people here, they wanted to, but they are not dispensing. If the central bank said they have given much money, let them enforce it on them to bring money out.
The policy, I think, is not meant for Nigeria for now. because you see the way people are queuing in different banks. It's called as it's like the government is trying to introduce another method of make Nigerians suffering.
In Lagos State, the economic hub of the country, some Nigerians resort to paying point of sales POS operators as high as 500 or 1,000 naira to withdraw 5,000 naira. This is where such operators have cash to give out.
It's nothing to write home about, because I've been to about 5 banks now. I've not been able to withdraw. I've not been able to make any withdrawal at all. So I'm still going back to another one to check, maybe like the 5th one now, to check again if I can. It's actually not something to write home about, not at all. Even POS dealers, I don't know, their charges are just too exorbitant. Like you have to pay like 10% of what you are withdrawing. It's just too much. How much are we making in the country that we have to still? And even that's even if they have cash. Even they themselves don't have cash. So those that have the cash are just charging high.
I have money in my account. I can't make use of them. I don't have money, no fuel, no lights, no food. We are suffering. It's just like we are going back to ages where we don't have money to spend, where we are doing trade by barter. I think that's what is virtually happening now. It's slave trading in disguise.
I bought something, and they were telling me that my card, they are using MasterCard. The card, my ATM card is not a MasterCard. And I was worried. What am I going to do then? They asked me to go and look for POS outside. And getting to outside to cash money now, no way. I got to somewhere there, and they told me that I should go and pay 1,000 naira for 5,000.
In trying to ease the pain of accessing the new naira notes by Nigerians, the CBN employed the services of POS operators, but that too has not yielded the expected results.
As at this week, starting from this week, I have been facing a lot of challenges at the bank due to the not sufficient of the money inside the bank. They are telling me that as at Monday when I go, I order for 500,000, but they gave me 250,000. The 250,000 yesterday, on Monday is 250,000. But yesterday, which is Tuesday, I collected 150,000. But this morning now, I have went to that bank. They said there is no any available cash with them.
With no hope in sight, some Nigerians took to the streets of Lagos and Ibadan in Oyo State to protest against the hardship.
Corruption is the reason why a 79-year-old man will come out and call himself the youth leader. Corruption is the reason why a man who has been in government for over 20 years will not want to step aside. Corruption is the reason why in Nigeria, all the infrastructures in Nigeria have collapsed. With all the money and all the resources we have in Nigeria, corruption, until corruption is dealt with, Nigeria is never going to move forward. And they know this. Now, these policies they have changed or making right now, there is no money circulating in Nigeria. The general masses are suffering. They are the ones suffering. It's a shame. A shame. The politicians in the House of Assembly, a senator gets a constituency project of over 240 million naira every year. Go to all their constituencies. I can categorically tell you that the only thing these senators and House of Rep members, what they do in their constituency is buy a tricycle, grinding machine, and some stupid boreholes that they call that they drilled or whatever, or buy some computers that will pack up in the next 2 months, and they come around saying that, yes, they've done something in their constituency. Shame on you. Let's just take a clip. Let's watch some of these videos of some of the disheartening things that has been happening in the country since this policy came into place. After watching all this, what is your take? The CBN governor will not tell me that they don't know the banks that are holding these funds. The sitting president, Alhaji Muhammadu Buhari, will not tell me that he doesn't know what is going on in and around the country. People are suffering. There are videos of bank managers, of bank staffs jumping fences, running from the anger from what people are facing in that country. It's a shame. The whole world is watching. The whole world is watching because they know it is no longer going to be business as usual. So now what they want to do is disrupt the entire system. You lie, you fail. For as long as God is alive, for as long as God is the creator of heaven and earth, his will be done in Nigeria. Shame on all those who are bringing bad names to Nigeria. Shame on every sitting governor or minister or whoever politician you call yourself that is bringing shame to that great country called Nigeria. God will disgrace each and every one of you. You all living in your protected mansions, driving bulletproof vans and cars, but the general masses are suffering. Wake up, Nigerians. It is no longer going to be business as usual in that country. This is part 1 of this program. We're going to come up with more things. As time goes on, let's talk. You feel free to vent your anger. Say whatever you want to say. Comment on this program. Share your 2 cents. Let everybody speak out. Enough is enough. Thank you very much.